Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right. We are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is August 18th, 2020, and you can find this I'm Clouded by the Dark Side podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
You can see me play games on Twitch at twitch.tv/MarcusB814. You can also find the both of us on Twitter. I am MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern, that's NickVern. In this week's episode, we're talking about role-playing in all of our games, and specifically PvP and SWTOR. So joining this week is Aviriia. Aviriia is a Dutch Twitch streamer who focuses primarily on SWTOR's PvP, is in the content creator program that Marcus and I are also in, and Aviriia is on the verge of making partner on Twitch. So, welcome to the show, and what have you been up to?
Well, hey guys, well, thank you for having me at first. Yeah, well, what have I been up to? What not? But yeah, where to start? I came back to Twitch streaming now almost 2 months ago after a really long break because of some real life things happening. And yeah, here I am.
Very cool.
That's awesome. So, what are your normal stream times? Are you a morning streamer? Are you a nighttime streamer? Are you a midday streamer? Really, where's your time that you usually stream?
My local time, because I'm from the Netherlands, my local time is always in the evenings. So that's like early afternoon and morning for American viewers. It's really
Sure.
strange with all the time zones because I keep messing up my own time zones as well. It's like, okay, I'm gonna start this hour. And it's like, what time is it again in America? I have no clue. But yeah, I try to stream in the evening because that's when also ranked war zones are popping over here in the European servers.
Sure.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, what is your stream schedule?
I'm about to change my schedule because of also my internship starting in a week time. But
Woo woo.
my internship, yes, I'm in my last year of my study. And yeah, I stream 3 times a week and then in the evenings. And I'm thinking of moving it to the weekends on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. It's not final yet, but I will keep it posted on my social medias about it. But yeah,
Sure. And
it's
where can they find you on Twitch?
on twitch.tv/Aviriia.
Awesome. So, what games do you play? Or do you only play SWTOR? Do you only stream SWTOR but play other games? What are the types of games you play?
The type of games I play. Well, the ones that I do on the stream are mostly SWTOR because that's what I mostly enjoy to do in the most in the evenings. But in my free time, I also do like to play League of Legends and then Teamfight Tactics. It's a game that not many people play, but I really find it fun to just buy my computer and just make the right combinations to completely destroy the opponent. Almost like Bang Warzones, but a milder version. No, I don't really play that many other games. I'm not into first-person shooters or other MMOs. It's just I like to say I'm unofficially married to SWTOR.
I know how that feels. I do know how that feels.
You keep
Marcus
coming
always
back to the
says-
game.
Exactly. Marcus always says when he plays another game, he feels like he's cheating on SWTOR. He feels like he's doing something wrong when he tries to play something else. He has to go back.
It's not that it's okay. So here's the thing: I never played any other MMO in my life ever. I was always a single player game or like Call of Duty or something like that. So there was always an end, right? Like even in Call of Duty, once you hit your max level, even if you didn't have to prestige and like start over again. And I know I'm talking like an old guy because now it's the battle pass, but like you didn't have to do that. Where now in an MMO, there's an endless amount of things to do. I don't know anybody personally that has 100% of everything in the game. I don't know anybody. Maybe
Right.
there is people out there, and I'm sure there is, but I don't personally know anybody. And if they do, message me on Twitter because I want to have you on the show.
That's what is it again? Marcus B814.
Yeah, thanks. So the the thing you said, you took a break from streaming, which is great because I understand real life gets to you.
Yep.
So you've been back for 2 months. What do you mostly stream?
What I mostly stream is, yeah, SWTOR ranked PvP. Ranked PvP and then especially the Assassin Deception or Sorcery Healing. Those are the main things that I stream on Twitch. I'm actually gonna get a new computer later this week, so I'm planning on streaming more other games when I get bored eventually. But my main game is mostly SWTOR and then PvP. It's just the thing that I like to do 3 times a week.
Sure. Um, and my last question to you is, with the Twitch partnership,
Mm-hmm.
so so clearly you've made the so when you there's milestones, Nick, and I can speak for myself. So when I hit affiliate in a week's time, I hit the affiliate, and it gives you these check boxes, and then it gives you the next check boxes for path to partner, and it gives you these more check boxes. So
Yes.
you've clicked all of those check boxes.
Almost. Right now I have all the checkboxes done except from one, and that's the average of 75 viewers. And if I go to my last month, I'm right now looking at it. I'm on 71 average
Sure.
from the 75. It's so close. But I applied a month ago, and now I've applied 3 times. The first time I got the answer back, and it arrived in my spam email and was an indefinite no. Second time, it took longer, and it got in my regular email, and it said, "Well, keep going on as you're doing right now, and reapply in 3 weeks." And here I am, 3 weeks afterwards. So hopefully this time they will accept me in, and if not, I just keep on going, and I will hit it eventually. Hopefully.
Huh. That's interesting because I know. So it's not as clear cut. So if you hit all the I'm curious if you hit the average of 75 viewers, you stream the hours and you stream the days, and you hit that. Do they automatically grant you the rank of partner, or
They
is it
don't.
like you're granted the rank of master, but you're not on the council?
Well, the thing is, sometimes you get like those numbers because there's, for example, like an influx of this game, or you have been raided a few times, or you just stream very inconsistent. It's like you just stream 2 times in a row, two weeks only in a row, and then you don't stream for like a few months, and then you stream a lot again. And they want to see consistency. They want to be like, okay, am I going to make someone a partner who is like bringing valuable content to the platform? Or is it just a one time where just goes off into the void and never returns after we give them a partnership? So it's they will look at it and they will look at your content, and yeah, it's a tricky thing. Like I've seen people becoming partner with way less, so it's not as black as white as they make it to be on the site.
Sure. So Nick, what have you been up to this week?
So, since our last episode, I went through my calendar because it felt like I was really busy, but you don't know until you actually look back. And I legitimately have not had a free day or, really even like a free couple of hours since our last episode. So, let me take you through it real quick. We recorded on a Thursday last week. The day afterwards, I had played Legion for 6 hours with Joey on Friday. I worked that Saturday, the next day. The 9th, Sunday, had Joey's birthday party at 2, so I got up, got ready, and then was over his house until like 2 in the morning. Then I went on vacation in Maine for the next 3 days, which was great. We did mostly beach stuff and visited some awesome restaurants up there in the Agunquit/Wells area, which was awesome. Got home Wednesday from that and was super tired. Worked Thursday and Friday of this past week. Then Saturday and Sunday this weekend, I had paintball practice and then hung around and had some adult beverages with some of my teammates. And then yesterday I worked 12-hour shift, and now today I have the podcast. So, so I legitimately have been just running around doing all kinds of different things. But in terms of fun stuff, uh, on Sunday for Joey's party, we played more Star Wars Legion, which is pretty epic.
Oh, how was that?
It was great. So we played on the Endor setup. Aviriia,
Nice.
if you don't know, Star Wars Legion is a tabletop game, kind of like Warhammer, where people like paint the figurines, and it's almost like chess, but instead of chess pieces, it's a big 3 by 6 foot table, and all of the characters are Star Wars characters. So each of them have point values based on how powerful they are, and you can the cap for competition is usually 800 points. Well, since Corey, Joey's girlfriend, got him Legion figures, and so did I for his birthday. He painted them up, and we used them and made like these mega armies that were 1,000 point armies instead of 800, and it was total chaos.
Sounds so awesome.
It was
It does
epic.
sound awesome.
So one of the things that I had Palpatine as my commander. I had Vader out there as an operator, so he was like a super soldier kind of role. 3 squads of stormtroopers, and I had the Royal Guard. So one of the abilities for the Royal Guard, like Palpatine's Royal Guard, the red folks, they can block attacks or like basically jump in front of attacks for people like within a certain range around them. So I just parked Palpatine and Vader with the Royal Guards in between them, and they're like they're basically cannon fodder, so I could keep having Vader and Palpatine, throw his lightsaber, choke people, or shoot people with lightning, respectively. It was awesome. So I ended up winning, obviously, but
Duh.
it was because the Empire conquers all. But Joey was playing as the Rebel forces, but they were no match for the Empire.
M side, best side.
Exactly. So today I tried to play a video game once I realized that I had not played anything since the last episode. I should backtrack just a touch. I got a new mattress, which is pretty sweet, and a headboard. I didn't have one before.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Wait. What kind of mattress?
So Macy's was having this crazy mattress sale because you can't go try them out because of COVID. Obviously, you don't want people rolling around on a fabric mattress all the time. That's a really good way to get a bunch of people sick. But so they have a crazy sale on mattresses because they can't sell any. So I got a Sealy memory foam one that's supposed to be like a Tempur-Pedic, but it's Sealy brand instead. I think the original price was like $2,000 and change or something to that effect, and I paid $600 for it.
Dope sauce.
Yeah,
That's a
so
good deal.
It was a wicked good deal.
Okay, is it 12-inch, 14-inch?
12-inch. Yep, 12 inches of memory.
Is it a gel foam?
No, it's a hybrid, I believe, and then it has
Okay.
a real memory foam, like as the top 3 or 4 inches or something like that.
Sure. The only reason why I ask is because I've been looking at them because I don't really need a new mattress, but
you don't not need a new mattress?
Yeah, exactly. So that's interesting. We'll have to talk later about that one.
Right. So I like
go
this because I haven't slept on it for real, but like a full night yet. But I got that all set up. I got a new headboard as well that I installed. I figured while I have the mattress off, I might as well be an adult and put a headboard on my bed here.
Did you remember how to use the tools?
Yes, I did. I remember how to use the tools.
Perfect. I'm proud of you.
See, Aviriia, I used to work with Marcus way back when. Marcus is a carpenter by trade, if you didn't know that. So
He told me.
Yes. So anyway, he's just busted me because I work in a hospital now. But anyways, so I got the bed set up. I got that all squared away. I ran a couple errands, came back, was like, all right, I'm going to play The Outer Worlds. And that didn't happen. I fired the game up, and then the idle music when you're going through the menus is really, really relaxing. So I opened up my journal to see like what quest I was on, and I was like, I don't really remember what I was doing. Let me read through some of these, and I fell asleep while I was like reading.
Nice.
Through the journal.
That's just your body like finally sitting down.
Exactly.
And it was probably really quiet.
Yeah, no one else was
just
home.
just that music playing, and you're like,
yeah, I was on the new mattress. It's all comfy. I just finished setting everything up. Yeah, I was like, all right, time to relax, play a video game. I got a few hours till we have to record the podcast. This is great. And then, I didn't play any of it. I woke up like an hour later and it's like, crap, I got to go get ready. But anywho, so that's what I've been up to. Crazy busy, not a whole lot of games, but I did have fun with Joey playing Legion. That was awesome. Marcus, how's it going, and what have you been up to?
All right, I'm going to touch on some work stuff real quick.
Sure.
Because, all right, so I've been yelling at my guys for a month all to wear the blue work shirt. So I have two colors. So I have the gray. The main color is the shirt is blue with gray letters, and the other shirt is like we'll call it the pub side shirt, and it's gray with blue letters. But I've been telling them every day, please wear the blue shirt because I want to take a picture. And they just laugh at me. And so I think purposely they all just keep wearing gray. But
Aw.
today they all had blue on. So I didn't notice it right away. And I was cutting something on the saw and I turned around and I saw they were all wearing blue. I said, okay. So I ran into the farm where my shop is. It's really like a breakfast, lunch place, bakery. Anyway, so I ran in there and grabbed one of the workers and I said, are you a good, I asked three people, are you a good picture taker? And the first guy was like, no, I don't take pictures. What do I look like, an influencer? And I just started laughing. Move on. And then I asked somebody else and they're like, I'm way too busy. And I'm like, what the fuck? Nobody can take a goddamn picture. So then I finally found one of the coffee girls. She said, yeah, I'll take your picture. So perfect. So we all go outside, finally got a picture. And of course, all I needed was one picture. The guys couldn't do it without just being ridiculous. So it literally took an extra 5 minutes to take a goddamn picture because they were making bunny signs behind the ear. One guy was grabbing the other guy's chest. The other guy was trying to, pull on the other guy's hair. It was just ridiculous. And I was like, guys, you're grown men. Like, come on, it's just a picture. And then everybody laughed. It was great. So anyways, finally got the picture. I was super excited for it. I know it sounds really cheesy, but it's a good thing for me is like a visualization of like, yeah, this is what I've built and we're in front of my shop and like, here we go. Anyway, moving on. Gaming world. Holy shit, I've been doing a lot of hard mode Gods from the Machine this week. So Damage Control said that there were a bunch of people that wanted to do a 16-man hard mode run of Gods from the Machine. So we took our 8-man team and piled on 8 other people and we went. Well, it was supposed to be a one night clear it and go night, but that didn't happen. And that didn't happen because of why?
Why?
Because of me.
Oh boy.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
so all right, so there's the second boss in the operation, Aviriia and Esne, the sisters, the aunties, whatever you want to call them.
Got it.
And I've only cleared the boss once, and I've died a bunch. So then you and that's on an 8-man team, but then you throw 16 people on this little platform to do this fight. It was just mayhem. So we ended up beating the sisters after most of the night, and I felt really bad because I'm like, I only cleared this thing once, and now I've cleared it twice. I feel like I have it a little bit better, but like I'm still not pro, right?
Right.
So then we killed Naha after. I apologize to the team that I suck, but next time, I guess.
One day.
But I did get one day. So I did get 3 more achievements for the 16-man hard mode run, which was cool. Then on Sunday night, we had 2 people out, and if you run an ops team, raid team, it is really hard. And I'm not saying that the subs aren't good players, but it's like chemistry. When you have one person out, okay, you can make do because you have your base team. But then when you have 2 people out, it's hard because you're almost putting a lot of pressure on the subs to do better and that they've never played with us. And even if they have, it's still, they're not there all the time. So I feel like that chemistry is always off, even if we're friends with them. You know what I mean? Their play style may not be ours, whatever. But the subs were great. We did clear Tithe and Aviriia and Esne, which I had to bring my other Jug Tank, which is my first Nautilin character. And I've never had, well, actually, that's a lie. I did have a mullet once with my hair, but
wait a minute. Well, you can't just gloss over that.
Well, at some point when I was like in my 20s, I grew my hair really, really long. And when I got my passport picture, I had a giant beard and my hair was just so long, like mulletized. I was just being an asshole, essentially.
Okay.
And I got stopped in the airport because they thought I was a fucking terrorist because I had a haircut and I shaved my face, and my passport was not that. My
Oh,
passport
right.
was long, greasy mullet hair with an out of control beard, and they were like, "Excuse me, sir, can you come over here, please? We need to talk to you. Is this you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course it's me." And anyways, so yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah, probably not the brightest.
Mo-
It was not. It was not a good idea, but it
That's
was
kind of
really
right.
funny at the time. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
that is funny.
No, when you're dumb, you're dumb. So anyway, so I had my Nautilin, and the reason why I'm saying that is Nautilins have those long like tentacles that are come off their head, and as you're running around the game, the tentacles are flowing through the wind. And I actually said, "Hey, I should grow my hair out again because it looks really nice when it's flowing in the wind." But then I stopped and said, "No, I can't do that again." Um, yeah, I'm too old for that shit. Anyways, um, so I wanted to make a disclaimer. One of the members of Death Star Troopers had some real life stuff come up, scheduling conflicts, stuff like that. So they have left the team. So Death Star Troopers is looking for a DPS. We currently have two people trying out. So if you're interested in doing hard mode ops, please get a hold of me either on Twitter or in Discord, and I can make sure I get you a tryout.
On which server and which faction?
The best server, Starforge, the best, and Imp side, which is the best side. We do Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Starforge is primarily a North American server, right?
Correct.
Got it.
Mostly.
It's
Yeah,
the
mostly.
best. It's the best server, Nick.
Darth
Yes,
Maul
I'm
is
talking.
it.
Listen, I don't know any like I don't play. I don't have a feud with Darth Malgus at all. I'm just trying to tell all the Satil Shan players, Kogus and Utinis, that you guys need to come over to Starforge. Anyways,
To the real server.
yeah.
Well,
Oh yes,
it's coming over to us, but hey.
Well, you guys can go to Darth Malgus too, but let's go. Come on over to the Starforge. Anyways, and actually, I've been torn on what games to play, and I know I'm really going on a long rant here, and I started playing the Agent story again, my first playthrough. Yes, Aviriia, I do not have my legendary status. I have not completed. I have not completed all the class stories. Yes, I'm that guy.
How?
Sacrilege.
Yes.
How?
So,
Shame.
yep. So I'm playing the Agent story for the first time. In the first chapter, I was like, yeah, cool, espionage. Yeah. Well, the second chapter that I'm in, and I think I'm really close to the end, it's really good. Like, really, really good. And a plot twist just happened, and wow. Yeah. So my final thing, I want to just do some shout outs to everybody that comes to my stream every week. I really want to thank you because, I get so excited. Like I'm like a little kid when somebody gives me a follow. I'm just like a
Oh.
little, like my tail starts wagging and I get super excited. And like it means so much to me because, yeah, a follow means like, and if you keep the notifications on, that means every time I start to stream, it's going to ping your phone or ping Twitch or whatever it is. It says, hey, Marcus B814 is streaming. And even if you come just to say hi and leave, that's okay. It just means a real lot to me. And then there's the people who subscribe, and that just blows my mind because you're paying money to watch this idiot play video games. It blows my mind.
It's
Also,
amazing.
Yes, it really is. So then the last thing is my favorite thing in the whole world to do with streaming is rating people. So
At the
whether
end, yes. Oh, that's
yes,
amazing. Yeah.
yes. So at the end of my stream, I find people who are playing the game that I'm playing that have like 2 viewers or 3 viewers, and I raid them. Whether I have 5 viewers, 10 viewers, 20 viewers, whatever it is, I raid them. And shout out to Scribbies. Because when I came in, I rated his stream. I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday. He went bananas, like BANNNAS. Did I spell that right? Fuck,
No, not
I
even
didn't.
close.
God damn it! I always do that wrong. God
It's
I
in
damn
the
it.
song.
Yeah, well, yeah.
C-A-N-A-N-A-S. It's real
I
easy.
said that.
No, you added a double N in there and 3 A's, and I don't know what you did. There might have
just
been a
write it
Z
like
or
the Dutch
something.
way.
Yeah. So yeah, I was speaking Dutch. Let's say that. I
There.
said, but I spelt bananas
Banana.
in Dutch.
There.
Perfect. So so Scribbies went bananas when I rated him, and that like really means a lot. And so everybody out here, if you guys want to shoot Scribby as a follow, SCRIBBYZ, a follow, that's awesome. Also, too, I'm gonna do one more shout out for my good friend Doc SWTOR. He's almost at his 100 sub mark on YouTube, and I think he's like 12 or 13 away. And if once he gets 100 subscribers on YouTube, he can actually have a URL that is YouTube/Dr. Gameology, where before that it's like YouTube/12345 HBCK3D, and it's really hard to follow somebody like that. So,
It's a horrible
Anyway.
link. It's a horrible link.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it would be so much easier to just say YouTube/Dr. SWTOR. I mean Dr. Gameology. Oops. Anyways, in SWTOR news, not much in the way of news.
Yeah.
All they do is bug watch. Guess ready, guys. It's bug watch. And if you're getting really excited for the new story content, well, sit back and relax because you have to wait until December to get it or holiday season. So find something else to do.
Play
And-
PvP.
Sure.
Ranks
Yeah.
PvP, guys.
Yeah. Also, too, big shout out to Max and Sema. They had Daniel Steed on the Escape podcast last week. Wow, it was a great interview. It was super lighthearted. It was super fun to listen to. They talked about Dan and like what he plays and like how he became like a BioWare guy and how he didn't really play SWTOR before, and then he came in. And I found out something. Dan was a huge streamer on Twitch.
He
like
was.
yeah, like big streamer, like full time, like didn't do anything but made a ton of money. Like he made it, and then he realized that like he said he's like this wasn't forever. It was 3 years of his life. His full time job was streaming, and he made a shit ton of money doing it. And I thought it was awesome. And he's like, look what happened to Mixer, and he said it right. He goes, look what happened to Mixer. Mixer just shut down one day. Think about all those Mixer partners who were making a ton of money, and then their platform's gone. So, like,
That's rough.
yeah, so it was almost eye-opening for some people, you know what I mean? Like, wow. So anyways, and the big thing is the week before he did Sith Lord Brit's Stronghold contest, and everybody's like, "Oh, is this your first time on a podcast?" And he was like, "Nope, my first appearance was on Working Class Nerds." Thanks, Dan, for hey. Anyways, thanks,
plug.
Dan. Yep, great job, Max and Sema. Nick, you should totally listen to that episode because it's really fun to hear some of the things he says and like even like the games he has. In AIE news, Nick,
On August 28th, clear your calendars because at 9 p.m. it's Mega. That's right. It's the monthly Epic Guild activity that Marcus hosts. And this week, this month, I should say, it's going to be Datacrons and a couple of world bosses. So if you ever
Well, the
want to kill a giant monster, now you can.
I think we're gonna kill the Nightmare Pilgrim, which is always fun. The other thing is the reason. So we had a mandatory fun night / mega for the Summer of Love, but because I lost power at home for those 4 grueling days with no internet. Remember those days, Nick?
Those are like, yeah, that was terrible. Was that
Yo,
the past couple? No, that was
yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Oh, that long ago. Wow. So
Yeah, 'cause
anyway,
it was before the last episode because we talked about it last episode.
right. So I didn't get to be involved. So my selfish ass wants to get involved in a mega. So let's do another one. Boomba.
Mega.
What else?
Wait, it should
Mega.
be the Mega. It'd be bi-monthly Epic Guild activity this month. Anyways. But Mega does not have the same ring to it. Also, Flashpoint Fridays is continuing every other Friday, and you should check out the Discord for more info.
They Mal is trying to get everybody the mount. I think it's the Aerotech Ice, or there's one of the mounts you get from Master Mode Flashpoints, and you got to do a bunch of them. So he's doing that every couple weeks. So just check our Discord, and you'll be able to find out what Fridays we're doing that.
Hey, speaking of getting in the Discord, if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org, jump in the Discord, and ask for a guild invite, whether or not you play SWTOR or any of the other games we play. We would love to have you. So that's aie-guild.org. You'll see the link at the top to join, get more information, and get in the Discord, and come say hi.
And one last thing, it's off topic. I read an article today. Amazon is making their big MMO. It's called a New World. You've heard of it, right? Everybody has, pretty much.
Yep.
Yep.
So they announced today that there's going to be they're making a server for the Southern Asian Pacific. So like that's going to be for like Australia and New Zealand and down that way, which is huge. And they're making servers everywhere. And it's really interesting to me because, all the big MMOs, they don't have servers that accommodate the whole world. They're basically like, if your ping sucks and you're not in America or Europe, sorry.
Right.
Didn't SWTOR have those servers back in the day?
Yes, but they shut those shits down.
Oh.
Wah, wah.
Yep. So, Nick, do you have to use the bathroom? Well, I didn't know this answer.
Of course I do. So we'll be right back.
Jeez, Nick, hurry up. We're trying to finish this podcast.
And we're back. So today we're discussing role-playing in the games that we play, and also some changes in the PvP in Star Wars: The Old Republic. So, starting us off, Marcus, do you have any questions for Aviriia?
What does it mean to role play?
What does it mean to roleplay? Like mentally or actually role playing? Like, oh man.
I know nothing about this. Okay, I'll give you an example. The only reason why I know that there's something called role playing is because I'll be on the fleet, like getting gear because I'm going to an operation or buying a tactical or something. And in general chat, it'll say, touching your shoulder very softly. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Wrong
what is
channel.
it?
Wrong channel.
Like, what is happening right now? So, and some of the things that are said, I'm just like,
this is a
oh
dark
my
side
God.
of roleplay. This is a dark side of roleplay.
Well, so what I'm asking is, like, can you explain to our listeners what is role playing, and what does it take to do that? How do you get into it? Basically, imagine that nobody knows what it is. Could you explain it for us?
Okay, what is roleplay? Well, roleplay is in Star Wars or in overall, you just get into the character of something or someone that you want to be, and you try to play it out as like realistic as possible as how the character would be in this universe. Do you guys know what I mean?
Yes,
So,
I
for
get what you're saying.
example, yeah, I actually came to the game because of roleplay, like back in 2011, and roleplay has changed over the years, but yeah, the concept stays the same. I'm a Civ roleplayer. I really like Civ roleplay, and it's like for example, you're an acolyte, you're a Civ acolyte, you have been sent to one of the academies, and you're doing your training over there, and then there's this other player who's like a Civ lord, and they are looking for an apprentice, and you need to do trials, and you actually type out everything that you do in Say Chat, and yeah, there are websites for it, engine, and there goes so much energy into it, and you actually try to place your own being into this acolyte character, Sith Lord, anything you can think about, really. Like, I've seen the most weirdest shit out there in the roleplay. Oh man.
What are
Yeah.
some of the most out there things?
Most out there things. Yeah, there was this one woman, and I'm just sitting here and I'm just already face palming. Like, she started off as a Jedi turned Sith, turned Sith alchemy project, turned slave, turned Lord.
That is a lot of background to keep track of.
And that's not realistic. If you just look at like realistically speaking sense, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, this character should have died in a role play, and yeah, like in dying in a role play means that the character is not there, and then you rename your character, and you make a new character, or you just start off a new character because the character is dead. Yeah, that was some really weird stuff that happened.
So how does one person get into role playing? Because
Ah,
for me, I would say, I guess I would say I'm a casual story player and a serious end game raider. I guess I would say. So if I messaged you and said, okay, I want to do role play, how would I do it?
how
Because
would you
I've
do
never,
it?
yeah, like how would I do it, or how would I even contact somebody to do that? Because it's not like, I don't think it's advertised anywhere.
There are actually advertisements out there. There are engine websites specially made for role players. For example, I'm on the Darth Malgus roleplay forum, and there are lots of guilds that cater to the different kind of roleplay niches out there. For example, there are like bar roleplay things. You have like Civ roleplay, you have Jedi roleplay, you have Imperial only roleplay guilds. And the first, like, I became a guild master as well in the last few months. I can go into it in a second, but I would ask you, what would you like to be? Would you like to be a Sith? Would you like to be like a Force user? Do you want to be a goody? Do you want to be a Betty? What would you like to be? For example, what would you like to be?
I'd like to be a bartender.
You like to be a bartender. Yeah, if that would happen, I would go to this friend that I have on Discord. I'm in multiple Discord groups, and when this was like, hey, I know this person who is doing the role play. Can you maybe help him out? And they completely decorated their guild stronghold into a bar, and then, for example, there is this place called ICA, the Imperial Reclamation Arts. I'm really bad with the name. Shortcut ICA. And they open up every Friday, and then you can be a Civ hanging around at the bar and just have casual talk, how civvy or non-civvy it sounds. Like, there is lots of roleplay happening around, and yeah, mostly it's about context. Context, you go to those engine websites, look in general chat how dangerous it can be on Roman gas at times, and yeah, just ask around, check, try to find people who are into the roleplay, and they always have at least heard about the guild, or they know people in other guilds, and they can help you further in it. And mostly it's just about doing it. Knowing a bit of the Star Wars lore also helps you really far. So, for example, if you are completely new into roleplay, I think most people will understand. If you are just new in like using the Force, you cannot Palpatine lightning someone else. You
Right.
cannot do that. That's like, no way. That's too strong for you. Just knowing the limits of your character, and knowing the limits as soon like when you grow the character through roleplay and through time, the stronger you will eventually become, and you start building connections and friendships online through the internet through it. And yeah, it's a really big thing. It's also a thing that I've been doing in the last 2 to 3 years, even when I was like on my break from content creating. I was like, I want to be at least involved with SWTOR, so I did roleplay on the side, and it's time consuming. It's very time consuming, I can tell you that.
Yeah, so I understand the time aspect of it. I guess I just don't know enough. So you're saying find somebody that does it, or ask around. You get on a site, and then you'll find I'm going to do a quote unquote meetup where they do it in, on the fleet or on a planet or in
Strongholds.
a
Yeah.
stronghold. Yeah, I would say for me, I would think strongholds. I'm going to call it safe space, because you have to be invited to a stronghold,
Yep.
or even if it's public, you don't really know that they're there. Because I know that, like, I've seen people, like, there's been groups of people, and then there's just people that are running through the group constantly, and I'm guessing they're RPing. Like, I didn't see a chat or anything like that, but I was just like, that must be what's happening. And it must be hard if people are just trying to, like, break your concentration or something like that.
It's the worst. It's the worst because you try to roleplay. You roleplay through the in-game chat that there is through Say or the ops chat or group chat that you make. And if you're there and you're just trying to just type out a line of what you're saying, and then there's this one person constantly throwing party bombs or doing slash love or slash something, it will completely fill up the chat box, and you're like, "Ugh, this is not fun. Can you
Right.
guys just continue leveling and just leave us be?" And it's
Sure.
like the number one complaint that I get from people in the community. Like, please, let there be like a roleplay instance, or let there be more moderation to the role players, because people have been scared of public like places with role playing because of trolls like those, which
Nick,
is a shame.
Nick, I'm sorry. I know I want to be a bartender, but if you were gonna get into role play,
Yep.
what would you be?
Oh, okay. So I I feel like I want to do something medically, but I want to be like bad at it. Like I want to be like a okay, you know Rick from Rick and Morty?
Yes.
You know how he's drunk all the time, but he's crazy smart? What if I was like a surgeon or a doctor that was drunk like that all the time?
Would
Oh my
be
God.
hilarious.
But I was still really
Yeah.
good at it, but then when you talk to him, he's just like blah, 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 like garbling mess. But then he does everything
So-
perfect.
So would that be a sorcerer?
I think so. I think that would be
Oh, medical
appropriate.
droids are sorcerer. Yeah, that could be a thing. That could be a thing. Yes. Oh, it actually
Hey,
reminds me
Nick.
of a roleplay scene of all of a year ago. But yeah, it's this could be totally possible. A
Hey,
little
Nick,
thing
I'm not
possible.
feeling too. Nick, I'm not feeling too good. What should I do? Shoot lightning at you. You feel better now? I'm going to have a drink. Where's the bartender?
Oh my god, that would be quite the 1-2 punch if you were a bartender and then me as that character who's just drunk all the time.
Yep, in
That'd
the
be fun.
bar.
Perfect. Hey, I wanted to ask, have you ever explored other like role play heavy like avenues, like a Dungeons and Dragons or something like that, where you're making characters sort of the same in the same way, and where role playing can really has space to grow. Although it's obviously not in like the Star Wars universe and Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't know if you've ever explored something like that.
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I do cosplay in real life, and I'm a member of the Mandalorian Mercs and Rebel Legion costuming club. So does
very
that
cool.
count?
Yeah, definitely.
Does count? Yeah,
The
it's
sort-
So, what do you cosplay as?
cosplay. Well, as you guys lost, I lost or not maybe. Well, for the viewers listening, listeners listening, I've lost over 50 to 60 kilos in the last 2 years at a surgery 2 years ago, which
Whoa,
is
congratulations.
I don't know how much
huge.
stone that is or how much LBS, but it's like over. I think how much is it, guys? 50
That's
kilos,
good.
60
Please hold.
kilos.
I'll say 60 kilos times 2.2 is 132 pounds for you. people at home.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is a
I-
preposterous amount of weight.
It's one of the reasons why I took my break of live streaming and content creating, because it took so much energy out of me. But I was like, well, I at least want to do something creative, so that's why I started to roleplay more and also with more in costuming. My costumes don't fit anymore because I lost this much, but I do have a Mandalorian custom made. I do have Vice's Mar. I have Holdo, and I was working on a Jabba
Whoa.
costume, which just
A Jawa?
a Jabba, yes.
Ooh, teeny.
Houdini.
No, yeah, those outfits don't fit anymore. So it's like, yeah, I still have them, but it's like it requires so much work. But no, I'm going to conventions, going like do charity things for children, and yeah, just overall, I really like that. But I've never actually done like role playing, like LARP or anything like that in
Right.
real life.
I did some. I went to the college I went to, UConn, had, or university, I guess you'd call it, had a LARPing club, but it was really focused on like the combat. So it was like plastic.
Hitting each other.
Yes, exactly, with like homemade foam swords and shields and things like that, and like learning how to like sword fight with these things. It was I got beat up by a bunch of dorks basically, and then didn't go again. But
Aw.
I'd imagine it was pretty fun if you're into that. You
Yeah,
know,
well,
if
but
you, like,
have
take it seriously.
lightsabers. Get a
Right, if-
lightsaber. Just dress up as this medical Sith
First
for
in.
and it's people with a lightsaber like
Well, I think, and more so, I think RP has evolved even more because if you look at, I say it all the time myself. I'm the same person I am with you guys that I am with everybody. I talk the same way. I act the same way. It doesn't change. But if you look at somebody like Dr. Disrespect, that guy's like a show in itself, the streamer, and he's role playing as his stream.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like he's in character all the time. Or Dr. Sonny Ravencourt from the University of Coruscant podcast.
Exactly.
You know what I
James
mean?
is
Yeah.
playing him at all the
Yeah,
time.
James is playing him, and he's doing his own role play of another character. You know what I mean? So I think the role play has grown so much from just your traditional Dungeons and Dragons or something like that to a whole bunch of other avenues.
yeah, it's
And
like
that-
putting up a persona and becoming the persona and trying to sell it to people that it's that's believable. I think for them
Right.
to take it.
And I bet for some people, it's a good escape to role play as somebody else.
Escapism, yeah.
For me, if I was to be a bartender, I'd be the same kind of guy, but with a bartender, you just talk to everybody, and that's what I do in real life. So I don't know if it would be a difference from what I am, but just to take me out of that element. And the reason why in like Star Wars, the Star Wars universe, a bartender's great because you're going to get to talk to all different types of, I almost said classes of people, but I meant, races of people. I'd really like to meet a Twi'lek, right?
Right.
Or a Hutt. Like, who wouldn't want to meet a Hutt? I know I would.
As long
I
as they
wouldn't wanna
speak
word.
common, I would, but I don't think I don't speak Huttese.
Blah,
so.
blah, blah, blah. Right.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I guess if you're listening to this and you want to get into RP, how can everybody find you on Twitter? I find like that's the easiest social media site.
Twitter.com. I won't start to speak Dutch in here. Just Aviriia. Same handle as my Twitch. I think the same thing goes for YouTube. Like everywhere is just /Aviriia.
And just
Sure.
to clarify, you spell it Aviriia.
Yes.
That is
Double
AV
I at the end.
Right. Right. It's Aviriia.
Yes.
And now you said you wanted to start speaking Dutch.
Yeah. I'm Dutch.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Well, you can start speaking Dutch. We won't understand, but you can say anything you want in Dutch right now.
Oh, echt?
And
See,
we
I don't
would-
even know how to say hello in Dutch.
Hello?
Yes. Is it just
Yeah.
hello?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of English ties in Dutch. Like, okay, so this is gonna sound really lame, but there's a Dutch house music song that I really like.
Which is it?
Like, please hold. It's from Lil Klein.
Oh, Lil Kleine.
Yes.
Lil Small.
Yes, it's Drank and Drugs is the song that I like. a
Oh,
lot.
Drank and Drugs.
Yes. it's
Oh,
very good.
man.
I can't play it on the show because we'll get pulled for copyright. But
Yeah,
that is a very catchy song. I enjoy
It's
it
a
lot.
very Dutch. Yeah, it's a Dutch rapper.
Yeah.
He's very popular in the youth category. I know
Yeah.
his songs. I don't listen to it myself.
No, I think that's I scrolled through some of his other popular songs, and that's the only one I really like. But yeah. Anyways, so
It's
long
a
story
fun
short, I
song.
have no idea what they're saying in that entire song, except
Drank
for
and drugs. Drank
Yeah,
and drugs.
they say like MDMA, which is MDMA, I'm assuming, but that's about it. So, anyways, if you want to say something in Dutch, feel free. For all the Dutch listeners that might be crossing over and listening to Working Class Nerds.
Oh, I don't know what I can say in Dutch. Well, most likely, if I get very enthusiastic, I maybe slip up and be like, did I just spoke Dutch? And I'll just hear it from you guys if I said something in Dutch.
I think you did
Uh,
earlier. You had said a couple things, and I was like, I don't think that was English.
I have
But that's
no
okay.
clue.
Quite all right. You're free to speak
Yeah.
any Dutch you like.
All right. Now we're gonna go into the dark side
Oh, boy.
and talk about PvP. So first question: do
Yes.
you play regs or
Both. Both.
ranked? Okay. All right.
Oh.
I'm just, I really am patting you on the back and saying you have a stronger soul than me because the ranked community are the most toxic human beings on the planet. And
Some are.
well,
Some
well,
are. Yeah, but
I've done
yes.
well, and we're gonna get into it, and because I've done ranked PvP in maybe 3 matches, and each one of them have ended with people telling me to end my life, and that like not only should I die, but my entire family. And then after the match, you think, okay, you guys are mad that we lost. It continues with whispers
I had the same
after.
thing. I have the same thing daily, also on my live streams. And did I try to vote kick you as well?
Yeah. So, but it's
It's bad. It's really
yes,
bad.
right. So that's why I asked. And then I know that the ranked changes that have happened with 6.1.2.6.437, whatever numbers we're at.
Something number. I also
Yeah.
get up on the
So,
numbers.
yeah, exactly. It's 6.1.2 million years away from a story update. Anyways, so I know since the update, the ranked changes have been good. I know that the ranked community is happy because friend of our show, shout out to Kogus. He's a great friend of ours.
He's
Um,
amazing. He's also a great
yes.
juggernaut.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
just a great guy.
he's
Yeah,
a
he's
great
an
guy.
awesome guy. So he is really thrilled about the rank changes. He said it's going to save ranked PvP and SWTOR. But at the same time, he said that he's earning his ranked weekly faster than he's earning his regs weekly because of these changes that they've made. And I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts on, like the deserter queue and that they're requiring wins for you to get your weekly for regs.
For regular war zones, I think they should get rid of the wins only because I still need to finish my weekly from 2 weeks ago. It's really
Right.
bad. It's really, really bad because there are pre-mates out there and they are like all on voice chat and I don't have that many friends usually when when I'm on stream I'm do just do ranked war zones, but off stream like I'm just going to do a few games, just a few warming up games, and then I'll jump into ranked. And there are always pre-mates on the other side, and I think they're in any kind of voice chat that there is, and they're always so well coordinated, and it's really hard. Like how good you are or how bad you are, there will be games that you lose, and it just takes forever to get those weeklies. And I can see that they did it because of meth farmers in ranked war zones, but in regular war zones, I kind of have the feeling that they are punishing players for putting their time into the game. Like, oh, you need to be good. Elsewise, the time that you spent in the game is just being wasted. I like it that they did it for ranked war zones, but I think they should remove it from unranked.
I agree. So as a terrible PvPer across the board, all games, the only PvP I think I've ever been good at is Call of Duty. Nick is really good at PvP games.
I wouldn't
Um,
say really good. I think
you are really good. Like what I mean is, I'm not saying you're like top of the leaderboard in every match of every game, but any PvP game you play, you excel at, and you're never really at the bottom once you figure it out. You're always middle of the pack or higher.
I think
And
that's
to
fair to
me,
say. Yeah. Okay.
you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
you're good at the PvP. Where me, I'm just terrible. Other than Call of Duty. And in SWTOR PvP, you know, when regs for me is meant to be, okay, you want to learn how to play and you want to have fun doing it, you do it. As soon as you put a wins only tag on it, that makes people get emotional about losing because now it matters if you win. Where before, if you got, you could get 20 losses and get your weekly, or you get 10 wins. So it's almost like, okay, so if we win, I get my weekly faster, but if we lose, I'm still earning my way to the weekly, where it didn't matter as much. And it makes people, like you were saying, is you get that get good mentality. And now in regs, when people shouldn't be,
Punished.
yes, and harassed about not being good, you know, they're people are getting mad because they might be one win away from a weekly, like you said, and it's taken them 2 weeks to get a weekly, and then you lose right at the last minute because Aviriia didn't do the one thing that she was supposed to do. And next
Got
thing you know, you're getting
lost.
well, right,
Yeah,
or me or Nick or anybody.
Right.
And that can't feel
yeah.
good because that creates toxicity. And I don't know where BioWare's idea on this was. Like I can understand the deserter queue. I understand that part. I really do. Because if you leave the match early, because I know Nick, how many times did we get mad at somebody because two people left our match and it's like 3 versus 5
Right.
now, and we're just getting dominated everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's always obnoxious.
It's
Definitely.
terrible. So I don't know where BioWare's thought on this was, and it sucks. And I've messaged them and put it in a report. I know all the PvPers have, but it seems like they just aren't doing anything about it. And for me, it's creating more toxicity in the community that doesn't need to be.
Right.
Well, I saw on what was it? I think it was on Chris's Twitter feed a while ago, and I was on one of the other influencers, Dalius. He was like they were going to monitor the results and then see how it went. But yeah, they at least removed the less like the issue maps, the Venden Hutball and Quash Hutball.
I think
But
that sucks.
I'm happy that they removed it because this was a lag fest. It was a lag fest, it was a desync fest, and those games really need to be fixed. And I don't think they could have found a fix, so they removed it. That's what I think, at least. It's just, yeah, I don't. I think I really think the deserter queue should be lowered, especially in regular war zones. If ranked war zones, I can see why it would be deserter queue. Like there was this issue a few weeks ago with healers just queuing up and then declining the queue. So there was one healer in the ranked match, and then the other team had no heals, and they were just trying to ruin the matchmaking. But for regular war zones, they shouldn't really do that. For example, you take the pop and your friend forgot the pop and you try to leave the match because your friend isn't in and then you need to wait 15 minutes. Is it really encouraging to queue up again with friends? And people who
Right.
really want to leave, they just go to another character and they just queue up with the other character. They just avoid the lockout.
Sure. Um, I can understand, but that's for me. That's a lot of work to leave, switch your gear, and then go back in as another character. If you want to play the same class, if you're going to switch classes, then that's a different story. Um, how do they fix regs in SWTOR?
Hmm. Well, I think first of all, making them like a favorite list where people can select the most favorite war zones against the least favorite war zones and make a system where the matchmaking will kind of cross match. I don't know if it's possible, but that would be, I think it would be really fun to see where like what the people want and then pick the most favorite map out of it, because right now there are still so many people leave it because they get a map that they don't like. If they can fix it, I think most of the players wouldn't mind waiting another 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Like the pops are really fast on the overmalgus at times. I don't. I think people don't mind waiting for the pop, but then get a map that they like, then getting a pop from a map that they really don't like, get triggered at. But no, the toxicity, it's something at the core. And it's a thing that I see in ranked war zones a lot because the ranked community really likes more blood, flesh blood into the game, especially with now the Steam release. Lots of people are introduced to the game. They are about to hit 75, and you see a lot of people queuing up for ranked. And they're like, oh, I hit Valor 25, I'm 75, I don't have gear, let's do ranks because I can click it, I can play it now. And I think it's a mentality switch, which I don't know. I don't think Bioware can fix it, but I think it's to the players because we all had to start somewhere. And yelling and screaming like a possessed child at people because they are new to the game and they don't know what to do or what to expect. I don't think it's the solution. And yeah, it's there's just so much toxicity in ranked. Like it was one of the reasons why there's so many new players who are like they have absolutely no clue what they did, and I try to talk to them like, hey, do you know what ranked is? Do you know what the people are geared for? What it is, what it does? And people are like, oh, I don't know. Just played a few ranked games and I want to try it ranked. And it is one of the reasons why, for example, also wrote this guide for on the website of Volk, just trying to explain PvP, 75 PvP, the beginnings. Like, please read this before jumping into the PvP and know what to expect. And I think if there's more understanding between new players and old school players, yeah, I don't know. Like I think more understanding will help. I don't know how to explain it like really well, but just be more open minded about it and don't have an elite mindset when it comes about it. Especially for ranked PvPers. Do you know what I
Well,
mean? Like
I
it
do. So ranked, I believe, is a serious game. Nick used to play Rainbow Six Siege. That's what's yep.
Yep.
And when
played
I
the rank.
played with him, we would always do regs because it was lighthearted. I wasn't good. And I remember one time we went into a ranked match because our friend Al, shout out to Al,
Yep.
they were like, let's just do a ranked match. I died right away. And the chat was, there was only one other person, but they were like, what the fuck? This guy doesn't belong in ranked. And I can understand that is more of a serious mindset to do versus versus the
Casual or regged.
yeah, casual or regs where like it's expected for you to be learning. And now I say it again, requiring wins for regs just creates people to be pissed off, because I know that if I need that one more win and somebody doesn't cause me a win, I'm going to be pissed off. And if I'm an angry person and I'm starting to whisper people in regs, all of those people that just joined from Steam are going to leave
they will be
because of it.
scared away from the game because of those players.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. I'm not explicitly familiar with how it works in SWTOR, but I know in Siege, when you first started playing ranks, you are queued up into, so it once you get ranks, you don't you get assigned like a ranking. So it's like they do it by metal, so it's like copper's the lowest, and then platinum's the highest, or something, or diamond, I think. But it goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, or something to that effect. And but for the first 10 matches, you're just unranked, and it sort of goes by your casual kill death ratio or something like that, and win ratio or something. So it gives you like a 10 match buffer before you really like things start counting for you, basically, and you're usually in the lower ranks. Like, for example, your first ranked match, if you're unranked, you'll probably be in like one of the copper servers, so you'll be with the lowest people, and if you win and you do really well, then it'll bump you up, and then sort of up and back down based on through those 10 unranked games until it figures out, okay, where should you really be. So I think, and I don't know if Star Wars: Old Republic does that as well.
Oh, it does. It kind of should work like that, but there are not enough players for it, which results in people with like the highest rating being queued in the same group with the lowest rating people.
Yeah.
For example, there are people with like 900 rating in the same team as people with like 1600 rating, for example. So it's like very unmatched. And yeah, if there were more players, I think it would work the same as in all the other games, but there are not enough ranked players for it to work in Star Wars.
Right, and that makes sense. That's reasonable. Yeah, Siege would be having thousands of people, so those sort of metal based groupings, you can put a lot more people in, so you're having multiple matches worth of people within those rankings.
If
So
you have like
I
60
get it.
people playing on Darth Malgus at the same time, I think it will be a lot. Like it's way less on a regular day. And
Right.
yeah, it's always like from what I can see, it's like today I was in this game with like, I think it was a top 3 player, and I was like, I'm not as great. I kind of screwed over my first game, so my Sork healer, so I'm not highly rated on her. And
Right.
I was together with 2 golden, or no, I was facing 2 golden, and I was together with this platinum top 3 person, and it's like, yeah, this guy, the single guy, has to carry the rest of his team versus many other from gold in the other team. It's like there will always be an imbalance, and yeah, it's like as long as there is an imbalance, people will be toxic,
Right.
and yeah, and especially with the vote kick things, like the amount of times that people try to vote kick the healer because you got globaled or your heals per second were not the same as the other healer. It's yeah.
That's
Well, I don't. I
Yeah.
don't believe that. I don't believe that somebody should be able to vote to kick you out of a group during a match. Like if afterwards you're just going to unqueue and then it's over. So I don't know.
Well, sometimes there are trolls out there who just stay in stealth for like the whole team dies and the person goes into stealth or just stays in stealth for like 5 minutes still asset and just wasting everyone's time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because those are like delaying and they're just trolling. Those people you want to kick. So I think there should be a system about it, but it's like it's very tricky. It's like a double-edged sword because they are now vote kicking people who don't have gear or who died because they got globaled or all those silly little things. And yeah, it's a really tricky thing, and I have no clue how SWTOR will try and fix this, but they should try and fix this. I don't know how, but yeah.
That's tricky. Actually, speaking of Siege, I just saw an update that Siege just so they'd been progressively scaling back vote kick, so they never had it in ranked before. They had it in all casual sort of game modes, and then they had it only in their quick play, which is just throws you into a random like map and match in casual. And actually, they just finally they removed it from that as well, so now you can't vote to kick anybody in Siege anymore because people were just being toxic with it. Like they, if there's a party of 4 people, a lot of times people, if you're queuing up by yourself, they would just kick you up for no reason, or they'd kick like if you pull off of like a 1v5 and finish the match, like they'll vote kick you or something so that you don't get the points for it, just to be trolls. So Ubisoft just removed vote kick entirely. So I can kind of see like both sides of it, where it's helpful when you have people trolling in one direction, but if it's in the opposite, then it's a function you might want to look at removing.
I saw that they are having a season 3 no year 5 season 3 update, and they're doing a live stream about it, which is blows my mind that there's that many people playing that game still,
I know.
where there's such a small community in SWTOR playing ranked PvP, but yet I feel like the things they're doing for PvP in SWTOR isn't making it better, it's actually making it worse. And toxicity just grows. Or that's just an 8-year-old game that has people that have been doing it for so long that, everybody has the get good mentality.
It's
You
like
know?
it's like a very small group of players, and most of the people have been around since season 2 or 3, and they like I said, like they want to have new blood and they want to have lots of like pops going on, but it's really toxic. It's like a very elitist kind of mindset that they have, and it's not welcoming for new members. And right now with with the lockout, it's also not helping because, as I said, like they are vote kicking people out. There's like, oh, this person doesn't have gear. Let's just vote kick him out so he cannot queue anymore for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's I don't know. Let the we're gonna have to do this again, and we're gonna have to get Kogus on here with you because I don't know enough about it to be able to come up with a game plan. Like, let's take over the world and change PvP, but I don't know enough about it right now to be able to say, "Hey, BioWare, do this," because I don't do it enough.
Right.
I could talk
Same
for
here,
an
obviously. Yeah.
yeah, I could talk an hour about operations and how they could fix it and where they're failing, but
I also do
that's not.
operations. Ish.
Huh?
Huh? Hi.
What'd you say?
I also do operations, so we can also talk
I
about
did
that.
not. No. What I mean is, I'm the PvP community right now is messed up. Like I think like the operations players for the most part are pretty happy because they just got ducks in, and the from what I understand, nightmare operations are the hardest right now that they've ever been. Um, So it's you know, the hardcore Nightmare players love it because the challenge is back, and like you really need to know your class to win. And at the same time, the next step now is that you're and if you're doing hard mode, it's like a true hard mode, and then story mode. But where PvP is broken is they're messing up that like entry system, and I don't know how to tell them to fix it, because I feel like they can tell us, oh, we're looking at the data. They're looking at the data, but if you know there's a problem, just change it. Like you could make it better in one swoop. Remove the wins for regs, like the wins required. Just remove it. It's that goddamn easy, and I feel like them dragging their feet on it isn't making it any better. And shout out to Medulla and Scrubland Shad. They've been doing a lot of lobby PvP, and they say it's really fun because you have all the new players in it. But they said as soon as you hit the level 70, where you have to go into the real regs,
75, yeah. It
right?
becomes a completely different game. It becomes a completely different game.
And you might as well just create a new tune and just go back into lobbies, and go from there. So we're gonna have to do this again.
Definitely.
BioWare, if you're listening to us, step your shit up. Thanks so much.
The thing that I just fear about regular war zones right now, and with the changes about the lockout and the wins and all those things, like I think it's gonna scare the old players more away. Like it's kind of welcoming for new players ish, especially on low level. But if you're like end level, it will scare more people away than it will get them back into the game. That's what I think, at least.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to get you and Kogus back on here. And we'll have a nice full round table.
A little bit earlier though. Like right now,
Oh,
what is it? So yeah, it's almost 4 a.m. for me. So
right, that's totally fair.
That's totally fair. But I will be up for it. I would absolutely be up for it.
Sounds great. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
And can you tell everybody else one more time where they can find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and on Twitch and on YouTube. On just Google Aviriia and you'll find me. And yeah, if you guys could spell it out, because my English spelling is really bad.
Oh, sure. It's Aviriia. So Aviriia.
Yes.
Thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
And last thing, shout out to Alex Maserati for all the beats that you made for me for my stream. They will be on the stream this coming Saturday, so all of my beats will be made. I now have a guy that makes all the beats for my stream, which is awesome. Thank you so much.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.